Amala ma'am, please start ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we would. Ma'am, should I or would you take up? Amla
Manisha
ma'am?
ma'am, please speak, ma'am.
Please continue,
Yeah.
Mama. Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening to Principal Sir, Director Sir, all the faculty members, and all the students who have joined up today. We welcome you all for this program. And this is a program that we are conducting under a new body after being autonomous called the Skill Development Center. So before I go ahead with what the program is, let me inform you what this Skill Development Center is all about. Keeping in view that how we have to take up and how we have to enhance the skills of our students, we have planned it to come with a process of teaching you all some apart from your academics, certain courses that would enhance your skills. So we could have incorporated these things during your academic timing, but then it gets tedious in order to handle both because these courses requires extra concentration and competitive students. When I said competitive students, that is where we can barge into when we are out of the college timing. And understanding that doing it after 4:30 or before 4:30 by for a set of students gets again tedious, we have made a point that we do it in the evening time once you go back home. So, firstly, I would like to congratulate you all students for being selected because in the entire third year, we have taken only 100 students in. So, we appreciate your academics that you kept all these days because we have selected based upon your records of your previous, how you were performing earlier. So, firstly, congratulations to you all for being part of the very first program under the Skill Development Center. Now, what, what does the Skill Development Center basically do? It has faculty members from all the departments as coordinators. We all have joined up together and we have made a plan of how to enhance your skills both in technicality and even for students who have any other plannings for their career. It's not just skill development program concentrates on only on technical skills. We are in a plan of giving overall exposure depending upon the interest of the student. So that is the basic motto of the Skill Development Center. So firstly, we are going with the C and data structures program. Now let me come back. Let me start talking about what is this. Why did we opt for C and data structure program? The reason of taking C and data structure program is since we have these 100 selected students from different branches, that is from CSC, IT, EC, EEE, keeping everybody in view. We thought that C is one such language which is learned by all the students right from the first year. So we wanted to take up that course in order to enhance your skill. Now, what is the motto behind it? We are trying to, as you all know, that we have a program called TCS Code Vita, conducted every year for students. So our motto of teaching you this course is to crack TCS Code Vita. Now, for the students who do not know what TCS Code Vita is all about, let me give you a small glimpse of it. TCS Code Vita is one such competitive coder exam conducted by TCS every year. So, who should write this exam? Is it only the final year or the third year or even applicable for the second year? It is applicable for the second year, for the third year, and the final year as well. So, what do we get if it is for the second year? Is the question. If you are able to crack TCS Code Vita at your second year level, you would get an opportunity to do your internship at TCS. If you're able to do it in the third year level, again, it fetches you an internship. But if you're able to crack it by the final year level, then you are given a job with TCS. Now, the question is, what is the difference of cracking TCS Code Vita and getting a job and doing a job directly by getting selected for TCS? That's a big question again. Yes, there is a difference. If you're able to clear the round one of TCS Code Vita, you will be hired directly. You will get a call that you are given an offer letter directly. You don't have to attend any more rounds at all. The first round is your last round. So you will go with a package of round about 3.6 lakhs. And if you're able to crack the second round, then you are with a package of minimum 7 lakhs. So the moment you crack Code Vita, you don't have to attend any more rounds. You're directly into your job. So that is the advantage of it. Now the question is then, ma'am, is C language supportive enough to crack Code Vita? I would not say that C is the only language that is supportive because TCS Code Vita works on 8 basic programming languages. It is again your choice. Like you have C, you have C++, you have Python, you have Perl, you have Ruby. So in this way, you have C Sharp, you have Java. So there are around about 8 programming languages of which students are free to opt one. So since we thought that all the students have studied C programming, that's the reason why we have thought let us start training you all with C programming language. Now, moving ahead of this, during the course, you will not be having anything like we would be teaching you what an array is, what are the data types and all, because we can't waste our valuable 50 hours of schedule in teaching you the basics again. So we expect students to come out with a basic knowledge. At least you brush up your concepts a day prior. That's wherein we made a timetable wherein you have 1 day gap for each of your class. So if in case you have been taught tomorrow some topic, you'll be pre-notified what exactly you'll be taught. So please brush up your basics and use this opportunity to the best of it. Feel free to ask questions. We have a mentoring session wherein you get to talk with your coordinators. At any point of your time you need any help, please do feel free to inform us because at the end of the day, we are here to help you. We are all working from 6 in the evening to 9 o'clock, which includes the mentoring hour too. So that is how we are planning this program with. To teach you this program, we have Rajshekhar Shastri sir from the Department of Computer Science who is going to deal with it. He would solve certain questions of TCS Code Vita previous papers as well. So this is how we are planning up. We expect you students to please be attentive, take them very seriously. Do not just take it as a regular class that you might be taking it up as. It's a request, and also this is all for your career that we're doing it. So we expect that you take it up in a very strong and a competitive manner. Having said this, we have a director, sir, to address you all. So I would like our director, sir, to please address the students and throw some light on how this program is all planned about. Sir? Amla ma'am, please check if Vinay Babu sir is there.
Yes, ma'am, there is a problem in connecting sir's link. So,
Okay.
would you please continue it? Just a matter
Yeah.
of 2 minutes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I would like to call upon our principal, sir, who is also in the meeting. I would like to I request principal, sir, to please address the students.
Good evening to all of you. Welcome to the inaugural program of the C programming language, which is an initiative by the Skill Development Center, as Anisha Madam has been informing you all. Okay. The motive behind this is to enhance the employable skills of the students. The academics takes you or opens doors to various opportunities. That is, if you get a first class or if you get a distinction, you get a different doors opening in different colleges or companies for different packages. Okay, if you get a first class, probably you will be eligible for 3 through about 4.5 lakh packages. Okay, if you have a distinction, you probably will be eligible to appear for the higher packages. So that it takes you only so far. But once the door is opened, you are expected to walk in and display your talent or skill. Now, this skill is what is beyond the academics, what the industry expects beyond the academics. So, it is to bridge this gap that this program is being conducted. 34 of our students this year have qualified in TCS Code Vita and the other examination, TCS National Qualifier Test, NQT, which was earlier called as TCS Ninja. Okay, these are premium jobs, development jobs, which are sought after by any college graduate. Okay. Along with this, we have the Infosys National Test Competition. You have Wipro, you have HCL, different corporations, IBM, etc., conducting national examinations, which are competitions, coding competitions, and those who qualify for this will be given very preferential packages to enhance the ability of our students to crack these. Okay, the days of campus recruitment have gone. It is now all online competitions which are being the basis for selection to various jobs and opportunities. So recognizing that, we have taken this special initiative led by Kishore Kumar and Anisha, okay, along with all the coordinators. They are all very enthusiastic in their representations and their planning for this program for the students over there. Extensive meetings and extensive homework has been done prior to launch of this program by this young team. Okay, most of the team is young, as you can see, and quite competent over there. The go-getters are all a part of this team. And welcome, all the best. I wish you all a very entertaining and prosperous journey through this. It must be entertaining. I'm sure the lead tutor for this program, Professor Rajshekhar Shastri, is a very entertaining man. He is going to make the program quite interesting to you all. I have seen some pilot programs of his, and I think really they are of very good quality beyond the academics. It's not something like the academics. Only one word of caution I would like to stress here. This cannot be achieved. The objectives cannot be achieved without your participation. We cannot take you to a place. We can only show you the way there. It is you who has to walk the journey, make all the efforts, appear for the tests, justify your answers. For that, your participation is paramount. 5% is our effort, 95% is your responsibility. So keeping this in mind, they will be quite mentoring you all, monitoring you all to ensure your success. And it is with the challenge that we have taken these 100 over here, so that this pilot program should ensure in August, the CodeVita, which is scheduled, okay, all your 100 should have very fruitful examination in that. Okay, we'll have different programs for the other students also under the same banner, but you all are now the flagship bearers. Okay, so all the best to you all. We'll be interacting a lot more in this direction and working to make lives happen. Okay, all the best. God bless you all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Okay, let us keep in touch.
Thank you
Over
so
to
much,
Anisha.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot for being with us and giving up the boost up to take up this program ahead. Now, moving ahead, let me give you a small brief about how exactly this program is going to go. It would be on the alternate days, as you all might have got to know from your coordinators. It would be on Monday, Wednesday, and on Friday. So it would be a 2-hour session, basically. Like 1.5 hour would go with teaching, and the other half an hour goes with Q&A sessions. So this is how we have planned up. Post which, again, our coordinators would get in touch, wherein you the coordinators will talk to you. You can talk to them if there is anything that you expect more to be with. So that is how we're working with. Now, when we are doing this, what are we doing in return to check how authenticative and how cautiously you're using your time? A very strict attendance monitoring would be done. Now the question comes, why, ma'am, why so strict? Because when we have selected 100 students, we are also answerable to the left out students too. There might be some students who are good, competitive enough, but just because they couldn't get selected, they might shouldn't lose an opportunity. So that's the reason why if you 100 are selected, you should be worth the selection. So keeping that in mind, we have thought that we would definitely check with the attendance monitoring system. So the coordinators would look in between, check who is attending, who is not attending, how many classes have you avoided attending. And what we have come up with, if any student misses any 2 classes, I mean, if they are absent for 2 consecutive classes, the name would be deselected. I'm sorry to say this once again. Yes, we are strict enough because there's a lot of homework that we are also doing when we are starting these classes. Because we have to look into we are working after college hours. We are coming back from college and after doing the regular work and again starting our class evening work too. So we would appreciate if you could support us and you be our energy again by being very cautious and very attentive throughout the sessions. So this is how we have planned for. And every weekend, that is on Sunday, you will be having an exam, that is an assessment exam, to check how you people are performing. You don't have to worry if you are performing a bit less, or you don't have to get bewildered that you'll not be able to get you will not be able to crack any exam. We would just do this assessment in order to see where exactly we have to concentrate again in order to enhance your skills further. So that is the basic assessment reason that we are taking up with. So we would request, and we also would appreciate if you would take this test seriously. So on post which we would be doing an assessment, giving you the results from which we could get to know where you people are performing at. How is this test conducted? This test is going to happen on Instax on every Sunday. So we will keep you informed at what time the test starts and at what time it ends, and what are the marks that you will be earning out with it. So this is all about it. This is about how the program would go ahead. I would like our coordinators also to interact with you. Starting with, I would like Udaini ma'am to please address the students, please.
Yes, good evening
Udaini
to
ma'am.
all, and thank you, Dr. Anisha.
Thank you.
Yeah, are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes, we're able to hear you.
Okay, thank you, and good evening to one and all. And I'm very happy to see this set of students, and a warm welcome to all of you to this group. And what I would like to say is actually we are, as you are all aware, and we are also living in this digital world. So this we are part of this digital world, and this digitalization is actually going to influence us. It has already influenced us, and it is going to influence us as we go along. And especially as we being engineers, we see that this digitalization and the digital engineering, it has actually helped to make our tasks easier. Right? But at the same time, what is happening is it is influencing our profiles also when we go for jobs, right? So we are expected to be able to work with the latest technologies and be very like aware of what are the latest technologies, adapt to them, and also work with them. That is what the companies are looking at. So this is a very nice, good platform and a strong platform that I think you should all utilize it effectively, and you should try. I know it is a little extra work, but I'm sure you'll come out with flying colors. So please try commit yourself to these sessions, and hope for the best. And I'll be in touch with all of you. And any time, any requirements you have, please feel free to contact me. So it doesn't matter which department we are from. We are all working as a group. Okay, so and I think I should have done this first. I am Udaini Chandana. I'm working as assistant professor in ECE department. And that is all I have to say. And I'm looking forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Dr.
much,
Anisha?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for motivating the students. And yes, we are all going to work together. And let's hope for the best that we develop productive students who would crack all the competitive exams, not just Code Vita.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
sure.
thank you, ma'am. From the Department of CSC, we have Soumya ma'am as well. I would request Soumya ma'am to please address the students.
Thank you, Anisha ma'am. And good evening to respected principal sir and convener, our Dr. Kishore sir and co-convener Anisha, and respective department coordinators and girls. And first of all, I need to congratulate everyone that you are selected for such a beautiful course, and you need to utilize for every second. You should not waste time, ma. We have initiated such a beautiful course. If you work hard only, then the success will be in your hands. And this is not normal academic course, ma. This is industry oriented. Our trainer will teach you everything. You should work hard, then only the success will be in your hands. And all the best to everyone, and go ahead. Thank you, Anisha. Anisha ma'am.
Thank you so
Hello.
much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Soumya, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Anisha.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. From the Department of IT, we have Srilata ma'am. Srilata ma'am, if you can please interact with the students.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah. Good evening, Principal Sir, our respected Principal Sir and Director Sir, and my dear colleagues and students. My name is Srilata from IT Department. So I'm here to mentor IT students in this course. So basically, this course aims to design. This course aims for only problem solving skills as well as TCS Code Vita to solve crack TCS Code Vita as well as other interviews also. So suppose if you are interested in any other gaming or animations or any other web applications or mobile applications, so first of all, you should follow some models like SDLC, software development cycle, so that where we can apply this problem solving skills, and you should able to solve any problem using this basic aim of this course is to make you to learn, make you to have knowledge. Like you have to solve anything in in algorithmic way. Okay, if you have any problem, like if you take a gaming or in an animations or in a web applications or standalone applications, you should basically learn. You should have a mentality of solving that problem using some algorithm. Okay, you develop some algorithms. Okay, you can code it in any other languages if you are interested in C or Python or any other. Okay, so basically you should have this knowledge to problem solving skills you should develop. Okay, so here our Shastri sir will provide you in such a way you have a beautiful thinking abilities for this. And another thing is, first of all, don't rush for job. Don't keep that in your mind. I suggest you to have basics. First of all, you should have knowledge. Then jobs will come to you. Okay. So job will come this year or the next year or next year. But the thing is, you should have the content. If the content is there, everything happens. Okay. And this thanks for Principal sir for providing this platform, and our director sir also, and our convener Kishore sir and Anisha ma'am. And thanks a lot. All the best, girls.
Thank you, Srilata ma'am.
Yeah.
Now, from the Department of EEE, we have Hina Parveen ma'am. I request Hina ma'am to please address the students, please.
Thank you, Anisha madam. Good evening, everyone. My name is Hina Parveen, Assistant Professor of EEE Department. First of all, I want to thank Principal Sir, Director Sir, and all the coordinators for conducting this program. This program will really help students, especially EEE and ECE students. With this program, they will learn all the concepts related with C, C++, which are compulsory required for all the to get a job in all software companies. So I request all the students, please attend all the classes, attempt all the tests, improve your knowledge, and try to get a job in placements. Because in getting job in placement is easy, ma'am. Here you are having less competition. Here you are having competition with only Stanley students. If you go outside, if you try offline jobs, off-campus jobs, their full competition is there. There you have to compete with other college students, your seniors, super seniors. So getting job in placement is easy. So just to do work hard, improve your knowledge, give your 100%, definitely will get the job. Okay, so that's it. All the best for your future. Thank you.
Thank you, Hina ma'am. Again, from the Department of EC, we also have Nadia Anjum ma'am. So I request, from Department of EC, we have Nagalakshmi ma'am. So I request Nagalakshmi ma'am to please address the students from the Department of EC.
Ma'am, Anisha ma'am, I think she has
Yes.
logged out. She has logged
Okay.
out. Herself and Nadia have logged out.
Okay,
Because
okay.
it's a number
Even
of users. Number of users.
probably.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We also have Amla ma'am from the Department of MBA. But ma'am I just got a message from ma'am that she's having a network issue for which she's not able to get into it. Or let me just check. Give me a moment. Amla ma'am, are you available? Yeah. Amla ma'am. Amla ma'am.
Ma'am, no, ma'am is not there. Ma'am has left because we need to add Rajshekar sir and all. So we
Yes,
are just
yes,
logging
yes.
out.
Yeah, I understand. So
Yeah, sure.
Chandrika ma'am, you're from the Department of H&S, we have Chandrika ma'am. So I would request Chandrika ma'am to please address the students too.
Yes, good evening, everybody. This is Chandrika from HNS. I don't think that most of you would have any contact with me, but yes, maybe now I will get to know all of you, and I wish you all the best for the next few days or few months of this course, and I really wish you go heights and achieve whatever you want to. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, Chandrika. So yeah, this is the team that is working behind. Our director sir couldn't get connected, but he sent his best wishes to you all for the beginning of such a good program. This is without any wastage of time further. I would request Shastri sir, the main tutor of this course, to please log into the to address the students and take up the session ahead. And if there is any questions from your end, you are free to ask us. We would try to answer you. If there is any questions from the students before we hand it over to Shastri sir. Anybody? All right. So hoping that there might not be any questions, but let me again tell you, this shouldn't be. We should have these classes as an interactive sessions. So I request during when Shastri sir starts the class, please make it interactive. All right. So I request Shastri sir to please take up the proceedings further. Shastri sir.
Yes, ma'am. Sir will be getting added in 2-3 minutes. 2 minutes
Okay, ma'am.
actually.
Okay.
Yes.
Shastri sir, we are waiting for you.
Good evening, sir. Sir, you are audible, sir. You can speak.
Hello all.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Okay, this is a very first class. Okay, Amma. Am I audible, all of you?
Yes, sir.
One or two, if you respond, it is good for me. I will be in touch with you. Otherwise, simply if I go on talk, there is
Sir,
no
it's
use.
audible.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The class to be always interactive, I expect. Right, Amma?
Yes, sir, sure.
Okay, sir,
Fine.
sure.
So I'm going to start. What we'll do, you know that the importance of this training session. our main motto is that you should clear your certification courses, if any are there, you are applying for C and data structures. And second important thing is that I am taking the class so that you will get into a competitive world, particularly for getting the jobs. Okay, in particularly about solving the TCS code vita problems, right? Okay, all of you.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
we'll start our session. Intentionally, I'm starting with F2. What do you mean by F2? Can anybody? Yes, Amma. You know the picture F2.
Fun and frustration.
Come again?
Fun and frustration.
Yeah, fun and frustration. So I'm going to start with few problems. The frustration point is, in case you are getting confused and if you are unable to get, obviously not only you, many of us will get frustrated. But once if you understand, you feel thrill, you enjoy. Okay, so we feel there about the fun part. That's why intentionally I'm starting with my few questions which are asked in Code Vita previously. And the questions which I have taken, a couple of questions I have taken, and they are basically depends on number theory, not any data structures or any algorithmic design principle. They are very simple, which are asked in previous Code Vita. The two I am going to cover now. Okay, after that, slowly we'll get into C. So our today's lecture part contains the discussion about the previously asked couple of questions, not in detail, not many. Couple of questions I have taken which are related to Code Vita. We'll try to solve them. Second is features of C language, the importance of C language, why we are learning C language as a platform to do the programming. Third one is brief tour to C programs and what we can do, what typical type of programming that we can do in C language. Few highlighted programs I have taken. And then finally we'll start the introduction to C language, if time permits. Okay, so let us start with the first part, the fun part. So here I have a problem. I repeat once again, these are the couple of questions which are asked previously in Code Vita. So I'm reading the question. A positive integer d is said to be a factor of another positive integer n if when n is divided by d, the remainder obtained is 0. Yes, obviously. When you divide a number by another number, if the remainder is 0, the denominator d will become one of the factors. Now, every positive integer k has at least two factors. Yeah, when we talk about k as the factor, so common two factors will be there for every number. Among them, one is 1 itself, the other one is number itself, right? So now, given two positive integers n and k, write a program to print the kth largest factor of n. So I'll give the time also if you want. You just read once again and tell me, what do you understand from this? Anyone can respond. A positive integer d is said to be a factor of another positive integer n if when n is divided by d, the remainder obtained is 0. Now, thing is that we have to write a program to print the kth largest factor of n, where n is an input number, and k is the largest factor for n that we have to print. This is what the number theory related what's a program which is asked. And for this one, no need to go for any data structures, no need to go for what any algorithmic design principle to use. Thing is that we have to logically think what exactly is asking, and as per that we have to answer and we have to write the program. Of course, we are not going to start writing the program. I would like to explain you through algorithm. So when we complete our half of the portion of C language, from there we'll continuously every day we'll solve different Code Vita programs. But right now you answer to this by reading it carefully. Any one of you, what do you understand from this problem? you will be given a number. That means you have to take a number as an input. And one more number called k, which denotes about the positive, kth positive factor, largest factor that we have to print. So the two inputs are there to the program. One is the number and the other one is what? Which particular largest factor that you want. That value is stored in k. So n and k are inputs. Tell me the logic behind this. Would you understand first of all about the problem? Anyone? Can anyone respond to this? Yes, Amma. Whatever you understand, just tell me.
So we have, we will be given, we need to take two meters as input.
Okay, fine.
So one is K and the other one is N.
Fine, fine.
So,
assume that I have taken N as 12, Amma. N as 12. I have taken N as my 12, number 12.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. And K, for me, K is 6.
Okay.
N is 12, K is 6. So what is our answer?
1.
Here K denotes the kth largest factor. That means among all the factors, I want the 6th largest factor.
12, sir. 12, sir.
12 is your answer. Fine. If I ask you 4th largest, if I take K as 4, then
4.
4. Nice, Amma. So, though for others, you just see that I have taken an example here. If I take 12 as my input, and there are 6 factors we know for 12. What are they? 1 is a factor, 2 is a factor, 3, likewise 4, 6, and 12. These are the factors. So, total number of factors I got 6 for 12. Now, in case if I ask you what the 5th largest factor, then obviously the 5th largest factor is 6 here. If you start counting from 1, 1 is first largest factor, 2 is the second largest factor, 3 is third one, 4th is fourth one, and 6 is the 5th largest factor. So if we ask you what is 5th largest one, you have to print the answer as 6. Similarly, if I take n is equal to 30 and k is equal to 10, then in that case, the largest factor has to be printed as 1. The reason behind that is, if I talk about the factors for 30 now, 1 is a factor, we know 2 is a factor, 3 is a factor, 5 is a factor, 6 is a factor, 10 is a factor. Am I right? All of you?
Yes.
Then 15 is a factor, 15 is a factor, and finally 30 is a factor. So how many factors we got? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, 30. So total number of factors I got how many? 8 factors I got. Whereas I'm asking the 10th largest factor. So is the 10th largest factor is present?
No, sir.
No. So therefore, if you are asking your largest factor is more than the number of factors, then you have to return 1. This condition will be given in the examination. Intentionally, I have not added. Don't worry. Okay. While explaining, I have added it. But in the examination, these exceptions, whatever that are there, that clearly exceptions will be explained to you. Now, let us talk about the algorithm for this. How simple it is actually. No need of any data such to be taken. No need to apply any particular algorithmic principle. It's a simple code. But I didn't write the code here because we didn't start our C section. Rather, we are discussing about the basics of C. So that's why through algorithmic way, I'm explaining the above algorithm. So what I have taken here, n and k are inputs, where n is the input number and k is the kth largest factor that we have to find. So I have taken a variable called C. Initially it is 0, which indicates about the count, number of factors count. So obviously I have to check all the factors starting from 1 to the given number n. So for that I have taken a loop, and the loop counter varies from 1 to n, right? So under the body of this for loop, the main logic I have included. The first piece, if n when I divide it by I, and if I get the remainder as 0, then I will become a factor for me. And whenever any factor if I find, then what I will do, I'll simply increment the C value. My count value I'll increment. Okay, after incrementing the C value, immediately I'll check the C value, I'll compare the C value with my kth largest one. If C is equal to my kth one, then immediately I'll return that factor I. So this is what that for loop condition. In case, if k is more than number of factors, then obviously we'll come out of the for loop and we check is your k is not equal to k, is C is not equal to k. If it is not equal, that exception which I explained previously, 1 has to be written because k is denoting about the number of factors which is more than the factors which we are going to receive or which we are going to get. So this was a very simple code. And converting this algorithm into a code will become damn easy. That's why I prefer always, before you directly write into the code, you write the algorithm briefly and convert that algorithm into a code. Okay, sir. So if I trace, for example, if I take n is equal to 12, how your algorithm is going to work, let us see. I'm taking n is equal to 12 and k is 5, the same example which I have taken. So n is 12, k is 5 means the loop will start from 1, I is initially 1, and here 12 mod 1 is 0. Remainder is 0 because 1 is a factor. So immediately I'm incrementing C value, so C will become 1 there, right? All of you. But that C is equal to 1, I'm comparing with my K. K, I'm expecting that it to be 5. So C is not equal to K. So the second if condition will not be executed. Then again, it will continue with the loop. I get incremented to 2. And when I is 2, n mod 2 is again 0 because 12 mod 2 is remainder 0. So again, I increment the C value. Previously, it was 1. Now it will become 2. And C, which is 2, and K, which is 5, are again not equal. So we go back to the loop again. By incrementing the I value, I will become 3 there. When I become 3, I'll get into the body. 12 mod 3 is again 0. So C will be incremented to 3. And 3 is not equal to 5. So likewise, I'm continuing. So when I reach to 6 here, when I reach to the 6 value, that is a factor called 6i, your C also will become 5. So C and K both are equal. Therefore, it will return the factor. What is the factor? I is a factor. What is I holding? 6. So 6 will be returned. So this is what that way how simply we wrote the code for that one of the questions which are asked. Right, all of you? Yes, Amma?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, suppose, let me go for one more problem. Here is my problem, sir. In the byteland country, a string S is said to be super ASCII string if and only if the count of each character in the string is equal to its ASCII value. I repeat once again this particular line. In the byteland country, a string S is said to be super ASCII string if and only if the count of each character in the string is equal to its ASCII value. So here let me understand, let me explain about what you mean by ASCII value here. In a byteland country, ASCII code of A is denoted by 1 and B is taken as 2. Likewise, Z is taken as 26. That is alphabetical order. For A, he denoted, he has given the code called 1, and for B, he has given 2, like that. For Z, 26 letters are there. So for Z, he has given, that byteland country has given 26 to Z. Now, your task is to find out whether a given string is super ASCII string or not. Provided that the input-output format also given in the question. The input format is first line contains the number of test cases called T, followed by T lines, and each contains a string S. And coming to the output here, for each test case, print yes if it is ASCII, super ASCII string. Otherwise, print no. This is what the output format. So here, tell me what do you understand from this one. Again, I am not going to reveal the example. Before I reveal, you try to understand what it is actually. Anyone? You take your time and just concentrate what he's saying actually and explain me. Yes, Amma?
Sir, it is said that if we take any string Okay.
And each of the character in that string is equal to its ASCII value given. Then
Okay.
it's a super ASCII string.
Okay. Can you take a counter example? A simple
If I
counter example.
take like zebra and
Okay, take simple one, Amma. You will take time for explaining zebra. So a very lengthy string you have taken. Some simple string, 2-3 character string like.
if I take something like AB as a string,
Okay.
and if the ASCII character of A is 1 and ASCII character of B is 2,
Okay.
then my is to be a super ASCII string.
So is your AB which you have taken is super ASCII string?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other answers from any other one? Yes, Amma. Let you know, Amma. Just now those are given answer. I'll tell you. I'm waiting for other responses. Anyone? Yeah, Jyoti, are you ready to tell?
Sir, if we take a string as AB,
Okay.
the length of it is 2, no, sir.
Yeah.
And the ASCII codes, depending on A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 3.
Fine.
Sorry,
B is equal to
B
2,
is
Amma. B is equal to 2.
and
Yeah.
that's what. If we combine those 1 plus 2, we'll get 3, no, sir.
Yes, Amma.
So, AB is not a super ASCII string.
Your
I
answer.
feel
So now tell me the example of super ASCII string then. Okay, you have taken an example which is not super ASCII.
Yes, sir. I'm
So will
not
you please tell me?
getting that.
Okay.
A. Let us
Okay.
take
Shall I go for
just
the
A.
example now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all of you. Here I'm displaying that example here. I have taken, see the input output format is also given. So obviously you have to write the code suitable to input output which he is expecting, right? So according to the input, the first line should contain the test cases. So I have taken the test case T as 2, Amma. That means what? You are allowed to input the 2 different strings. Fine. So that first line denotes T, which is holding right now 2. So immediately now you are in a position to type the first string. You are allowed to type 2 strings because you have taken T as 2. So I have taken that first string called BBA. And when I observe that output, immediately it has to give the output. And I'm observing that output is yes. BBA, it is stating that it is a ASCII string. I mean, super ASCII string. The reason behind that why it is super ASCII string is, if you read carefully the problem, you'll understand what he's saying is, yes is said to be super ASCII string if and only if count of each character in the string is equal to its ASCII value. So that means when I'm taking BBA, tell me A repeated how many times, Amma? All of you. A is repeated how many times?
1 time.
So what is the ASCII value of A?
1.
Good. And B is repeated how many times?
2 times.
What is the ASCII value of B? That's all. Therefore, it is super ASCII. Now, can you say that BAB is a super ASCII?
No, sir.
It is also super ASCII.
Yes.
The number of characters should be, the repeated number of characters should be equal to its ASCII code. Are you getting? And ASCII value of A is 1, ASCII value of B is 2, likewise for Z it is 26. And the second example which I have taken, yes, CCA is not super ASCII. Why not super ASCII? Simple, you take that A, of course it is repeated once, and you know that ASCII value or ASCII code for A is 1. Fine. You come to the C here, how many times C is repeated?
2 times.
But as per the ASCII value is concerned, what is the value of C?
3.
So how many times you are expecting C to be repeated?
3 times.
3 times it has to be repeated. Likewise, S is repeated only once, whereas if you see the ASCII value of S, somewhere you will get above, I think, nearly 18 above, like this, somewhere you will get, right? That means S has to be repeated 18 times. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Whereas if I say something called CBBCAC, what is the answer? CBBCAC.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
ASCII.
ASCII is
super
super
ASCII.
ASCII. Yeah, sure. Because the count of each character is equal to its ASCII value, right? Yes, Amma. So for this one, intentionally, I have not added, what do you say, the algorithm. Neither I have added the algorithm, nor I have added the code. Of course, we are not talking code right now, as I told you already. But intentionally, I have not added because I'm going to give this as homework for you to write the algorithm. Whether it is correct or not, don't worry about it. Just simply write. Why I have given this as homework means we did a lot of simple problems related to ASCII. Okay, in your C lab. So maybe you are having that idea how to convert an ASCII character into ASCII code, or converting a lowercase letter to uppercase letter and uppercase letter into lowercase. You have practiced the problems related to this. So such arithmetics that we have to use here in this one. Okay. So what do? Take this as homework and try to write algorithm for this. Don't worry about how you are writing the algorithm. If you simply explain me about English-like statements, then also no problem. No need to go for any pseudocode. If you are familiar about pseudocode, better include it. Otherwise, at least write the code about this particular one in a simple English-like language. Okay, all of you. So in the next class, if you will discuss about the algorithm for this also, right? So what do you understand from this one? These are the two questions which are absolutely asked in the previous or TCS code vita. So if you really okay with that problem, if you really understand exactly what he is expecting, okay, then you can write the code for this one. And in this second problem also, no need to go for any sort of data structure. Simply that the ASCII concepts, and I mean that how we can convert that into what's a frequency. Nothing but a simple hint for you is just take the string and read from starting to the end each character and count the facts or frequencies. Here, suppose BBA if I take, then when I am starting reading each and every character, B is encountered 1, so B frequency I will increment by 1. Then second character when I read, again I'm finding BA, so the count further will be incremented to 2. And then when I'm reading A, so A initially will be 0, but after encountering that A value, A count also will be incremented. So like this, if I check the frequency table, in the frequency table under A it is 1 and under B I got 2, right? And coming to the comparison, A is 1 and ASCII value is also 1. Under the table, under the column of B, it is 2 and the ASCII value of B is also 2. So both are matched. Therefore, it is a ASCII, super ASCII string. So likewise, a hint I have given. Just try to apply and write the algorithm for this. Right, Amma, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, after few classes, not many, 2-3 classes, hardly by next class. Next class is on what? What do you say? It is on Friday. So if not on Friday, on Monday, in each class we'll discuss one simple previously asked this code vita questions, including solution. Don't worry, I'll even give the solution. I'll execute that. Everything I'll do. Right, Amma, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Now the frustration thing is what? If you are not properly understanding, obviously time will be over, and by the time the time is continuing, your tension will creep up. As a result of that, you cannot attend it. So exactly, you have to read the question carefully and what exactly is asking. Don't worry, some problems he will even give the input output. I mean, complete example also. Through example, try to explain. Right. So these are such a simple questions we got in code vita. Hope that you encouraged with these two. Okay. So now let us start our C. So before I start, what I have decided is we are going to do our programming through Code Blocks IDE. So how to install the Code Block IDE in your system, the step-by-step process I will explain in the next class, along with the compiler, GCC compiler by default, which comes with the Code Blocks IDE. So both how to install and how to run a simple C programs, that I'll explain it. I will demonstrate it in the next class. Okay, and after that we'll start programming. But let us talk about today the next concept called features of C language. Can anybody tell me what are the features that you know before I explain? Anyone?
Easy to understand.
Okay.
Simple.
Simple. Okay, fine. Only
Fast
two?
and efficient. Fast and efficient.
Fast and efficient, fine. Okay.
Portable.
So, yeah, portability, fine. Okay.
It's a middle level.
It's a middle level language, very good. So likewise, we have so many features. Let us see one by one. So procedural language, C is a procedural language, like as your old languages called Pascal, COBOL. If you see, they are also called as procedural. Why? Because the step-by-step predefined instructions are carried out. The way in whichever the order you have taken the instructions written as a part of the code, in the same order the instructions are going to be executed. That's why C, we can call it as a procedural language. Second one is C is very simple. How? It provides so many or such structured approach things, and also have the rich library functions. We have so many library functions are there, and a rich set of data types we have, through which we can almost solve all types of problems, such as they may be of scientific, they may be business, any type of problems we can solve. And nevertheless, okay, we rich set of operators are also there. So that's why we can say C is simple. I'll tell you the reason also. I can even compare, okay, when I explain one by one through example. Third factor is fast and efficient. If you talk about the Java, Python, these programming languages, I can say C is faster than the other above two. Of course, Java and C are having more features than Java and Python, of course, having more features than C. But when it comes to the fast and efficient execution, that we can do it easily in C. The reason behind that is Java, we know that it is what? Anybody? Java is what? Platform independent language. So Java, to execute that one, it will go through in two phases. Whenever you write a Java code, first compiler will get into the field and the code will be compiled, and you'll find a byte code. Okay, are you getting? And the second phase will start. If you want to execute the program, your JVM, Java virtual machine, will get into the picture and it will execute that code. So that means Java program to execute, two phases we have to cross. Obviously, it takes time. On the other hand, C is not depends on any two phases. It's a direct phase. Write the code, okay, compile it, you will get an object code, run it, right? Come to the Python here. Why Python is slower than C means Python is interpreter based. So that means what? When you are writing the code line by line, it executes, and if any errors are there, immediately throws error, and that error has to be rectified. Then it will go to executing of the next line. So line by line it executes. Okay. That's why, of course, it is also slower than C language. Coming to the fourth feature is middle level programming. Of course, these were the powerful feature of what C. We can do not only high level programming, but we can embed the assembly language code also. So this embedding the assembly language code is very important feature to do some low level programming. So that's supported by C. So C, that's why it is called as a middle level programming language. Since in C we can do both high level programming as well as assembly language features also we can add. Next feature is modularity, one of the powerful features. If I compare this modularity with my older languages called COBOL, COBOL is called as Common Business Oriented Language. So if you compare with the COBOL, you see that it is also a procedural language, but the modularity concept, you won't find it. In the older versions of COBOL, if you see, you won't find it all, the modularity. All the things you have to write it in different sections, and each section will be executed one by one. So there is no concept of modularity. But whereas the powerful feature which is there in C language is your modularity. That's why C is taken as a base language to design many languages. You know, Java, Okay, JavaScript here, even Python. Likewise, many programming languages are there whose design is also made with the help of C only. And nevertheless, C is also a powerful language through which Unix operating system is of course designed by Dennis Ritchie. Then it is having rich libraries. Of course, C provides a lot of built-in functions are there using which easy and fast code we can write. That's the importance of libraries which are available in C. And next feature is memory management. Yes, we have a facility that we can of course allocate dynamically. We can create the different data structures because dynamic memory allocation functions are there by using which we can manage our memory. Last, that is portable. C is highly portable, means the program once written can run on any machine or other machines with little or no modifications. Of course, some compilers for which we have to change a little bit. For example, if you see in Turbo C, for clearing the screen, we directly write CL or SCR. Am I right? But whereas GCC, the other compiler, if you take, to clear the screen, we have to write system within which we have to pass the argument called CLS. So likewise, some differences are there from one compiler to the other compiler. But if you change that one with the SAS, little change, what you can do is the same code we can run it on many machines. That's why it is portable. So these are few features about C language. And for each feature, of course, I have added some examples so that you will understand thoroughly what these features are indicating. So first one is procedural. I told you that procedure is nothing but step-by-step predefined instructions which are carried out. Yes, this is an example I added which reverse the string. Reversing string, for that purpose I have added the code here having a lot of instructions in that, but the execution of these instructions will be made step by step. Okay, how the first declaration will be made where related whatever the number of variables I have taken, the memories will be allocated, and then in the very next instruction I'm writing a is equal to num mod 10, which returns 2 because num is 4592, and when I divide with modular 2, it gives a reminder called 2. So a is holding 2, and b obviously will hold what's a 9, and before that num will become num by 10 means what's a 4592 by 10 means 459 you will get in num. So likewise, initially I'm going for what's a modular operator to get the reminder, and the next step I'm reducing my number. So if I go on do that, all the 4 digits I'll get in ABCDs. After getting the 4 digits, I'm applying some mathematical simple way, simple logic, and after calculating the reversing number, that reversing number I'm displaying. Of course, I have not declared that reverse number, just you can consider it. So here, this is a code through which I'm trying to explain that how step-by-step instructions are going to be executed. That's why C is called as procedural. Okay, Amma, none of the steps can be skipped here. The order of the execution will be made in which you have declared the order. In whichever the order you have declared, in the same order your code is going to be executed. That's why step-by-step predefined instructions execution will be made. Then comes simple. Why simple means lot of features are there in C language. Just now I told you that rich set of data types are there. Of course, different types of operators are there. Here I'm demonstrating about the operators, of course. What are they here? Swapping of two numbers using addition and subtraction without using the third temporary variable. In the second example, again the same I am explaining, but this time I'm using the operators called multiplication and division to swap the two numbers. Okay, so likewise we are having different types of operators here. For your kind information, suppose if I compare that, if I try to write this particular one in COBOL, okay, so it takes a lot of instructions here. Whereas in C, it has become very simple. Hardly with the help of 4 to 5 lines of code, we are able to solve that swapping of two numbers with different techniques and different operators, using different operators. This is about the simplest. And middle level, because we can embed the assembly language code. This is again a simple program. Don't try in GCC because GCC may not support this syntax. But then I have taken a snapshot of how to embed the assembly language code in a main C code. So in main, if you see that ASM part, that ASM part is your assembly language code, where we are transferring A into a register called AX and B in the register BX. Then I'm asking the compiler to add AX and BX, and the resultant which is stored in AX is again I'm transferring or moving into C. Likewise, C will be 30, which is addition of A and B, and let's see I'm printing after coming out of the code, assembly language code. So lastly, if you see the printf statement there, I'm trying to print the value of C and you will get C as 30. So thus this is a simple assembly language code to add the two numbers. So likewise, we can write the assembly language code also. We can include the low level or assembly language code, okay, in C as an embedded part. Then modularity. Nevertheless, modularity is nothing but, I told you, it's a powerful technique. Modularity is nothing but dividing the entire program into smaller units. Okay, and in C language, it is possible through functions, all of it. Modularity is nothing but simply dividing the entire program into smaller programs, smaller parts of your program. And the smaller parts are called as functions in C language. So this is what C supports. Functionality, I mean functions concept is there in C, and nevertheless C is completely collection of functions only, we can say. So tell me about the advantage of modularity. We all know that what do you mean by modularity, because we learned that functions, how to write user-defined functions, how to use library functions, all this we learned in C language in our regular classes. My question is, since C supports this modularity through functions, what is the use of this modularity? Anyone?
Reused, sir.
Very good. One of the features is reusability. Absolutely, Amma. You just write the code once and go on use it any number of times. No need to write, no need to rewrite again and again the same code. Okay, one important point is reusability. Any other one?
Therefore, time to reduced, sir.
Of course, because of reusability is there. Fine, Amma. Very good. Because of reusability is there, obviously the time will be reduced. Execution time and all that may be reduced. Any other use?
Program will be sorted, sir.
Yeah, that means what? You can make your program error free. That means what? Even if any error is occurred, locating that error and rectifying that error will become very easy. In case suppose if you get an error in one of the functions, no need to trace every part of the code. Yes, some sounds are coming. You're mute. Okay. We can make our code error free. How we can say, means suppose if you get any error in shorts method, see in the screen you are having different methods. Winner is one of the functions, shorts is one of the functions. Okay, winner loser display function is one of the functions. So in these functions, suppose if you get any error, then just simply we go to that particular part, rectify it and come back. So likewise, we can make our program error free. Even if an error occurs, tracing that error, rectifying that error, a removal of that error will become very easy. Okay, sir. So that's what about the importance of modularity. Then we have libraries. We are all familiar about the libraries. All these libraries are divided into header files. And we have so many header files to do different types of calculations or functionalities, like as math.h is having different mathematical functions, and strarg is one of the interesting header files in which we have macros called va start, var. I'll tell you the usage of stdarg. Very interesting header file it is. What are the functions or macros which are defined under this header file? Using them, we can write our own functions which behave exactly like as printf, scanf functions. Okay, and then comes string header file is there to manipulate the strings. Examples functions which are defined under header file are string comparison, string copy, etc. And complex.h is also one of the header files where to manipulate the complex numbers. We are all familiar about what you mean by a complex number. A plus IB is a complex number where I is what imaginary number. So on that complex numbers, we can do different operations. To perform the different operations, we have different functions which are all defined in complex.header file. Similarly, we can even draw the graphical figures, and we can even show the animations. And if you see the so many games which are designed in C using these graphics. So we can directly draw the circles, ellipse. We can even get the pixel colors of a particular location through get pixel. Likewise, so many functions are there which are defined or declared in the graphics.header file. So likewise, we are having a rich, very rich set of header files and library functions available in C. So that's what one more importance of C language. And memory management, all of you. Memory management. This plays very important role to write the dynamic data structures. If you rely on static data structures, you cannot show the versatility in data structures. So to get the versatility and also to write the important code, is better go for the dynamic memory allocation part. And in C language, we have malloc, calloc, free like functions are there, using which we can dynamically allocate. So I have demonstrated here about the linked list summa. Using linked list, how one can create the stack data structure dynamically. So the explanation I'll make in the next class, or whenever we attempt the data structure there, at that time I'll explain. Then this is what about the features which I explained, all these features. Okay, procedural, simple, fast and efficient. So that means if I compare C language with other languages, older particularly, C is powerful than all others. Okay. So now let us go for the next topic called let us go for the tour to the C language. The small programs I've added which are previously asked in the interviews. Okay, swapping using third variable is how to swap the two variables I have shown here. But here in this code, I'm using the third variable called C. So initially A I'm transferring in C, and then B I'm transferring in A, and then again C I'm transferring. Oh, sir, again maybe coding mistake is there here. I mean typing mistake is there. So A is assigned to C, A is free, B is assigned to A. Now B is free, B is equal to C. The last instruction should be B is equal to C. So small mistake is there anyhow. And the same swapping of two numbers, I can do it by XOR operation. See the versatility of your C. Okay, not only using third variable, without using third variable, by using the XOR operator, which is available in operator set of C, we can do the coding for swapping of two numbers. So for this is what a small snapshot of the code. Then similarly, I can even use the bitwise operators and arithmetic operators together to swap the same C language, I mean two variable values. So I have used here bitwise and bitwise OR and a negation operator, bitwise negation operator. So by using these three operators, we can swap the contents of the two variables. So now the question is, hello world, can you print without using semicolon? Anyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How it is possible?
If you put in a condition, any loop, like
fine,
if,
good,
if
good.
Of printf held.
Fine, fine. So if I if condition or
any
loop, okay, fine. What else? Where else? Can you use it in switch?
Switch.
Yeah. So simply what you do, if you individually write the print statement, definitely you have to keep semicolon at the end of the instruction. But the same printf statement to print the hello world, we can do it without keeping any semicolon. As she explained, this was a snapshot of it. Here, the printf, I have written it in if condition. If printf within a quote hello world, okay, begin and end, no body for the if condition. Body is null, no statement under if condition. All of you. Now tell me how this is going to be executed, how it is possible, because when I am writing about if condition, if we will take the expression which is either true or false. Anyone? How this is possible?
Printf returns number of characters. So if
okay,
yeah,
come again, Amma. Printf returns
number of characters.
Any other answers? Yes, Amma, any other answers? I'll tell you. Printf function will return non-zero value, Amma. An integer value will be returned by printf. You check, you write the printf in WhatsApp and store that resultant printf value in some variable and print that variable, you will get some integer value. Non-zero value you will get, all of you. Okay, so printf returns non-zero value. So if when it is receiving a non-zero, for an if condition we are receiving a non-zero. So whenever a condition under if if it is non-zero, every non-zero value is always treated as true. Yes or no? There is no Boolean data type in C language, but a non-zero value, whether it may be negative or positive, is treated as true, whereas 0 is a value which is treated as false. So I repeat once again, your printf statement will not return any characters, rather it returns some integer value. So when printf is returning a integer value other than 0, say for example printf has returned 21. So the printf is gone, it is executed, you got a hello world, and the printf is returned what? A non-zero value. Non-zero value is what? Say 21 for example. So if 21 means what, sir? It is true. If is received a value called 21 and 21 is an integer value, non-zero integer value, so for if condition it is true. So as a result it executes the body. Under the body we don't have anything to do, so it will come out. So as a result you got printf statement which we printed without using semicolon. The same thing we can do it here in while also. But tell me all of you, why I use the negation symbol in front of printf, whereas the same negation I didn't use in if condition? Yes, Amma? Anyone?
If you will get
It would be while of one.
Okay, just now I told you that printf returns non-zero value. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And 0 is treated as false. In C language, 0 is treated as false. But to execute the body of while loop body will be executed only if while is receiving true. So suppose again here also the printf we say it is returned some 21 non-zero value. So the negation of 21, okay, is what? 0, opposite of that is 21 is nothing but a non-zero value which is treated as true, and true is now become false here. Sorry. Here it is non-zero means, just check it out, sir. Non-zero negation.
It means 0.
0. So body will not be executed, it will come out. By the time what you will get a printf will be, sir, printed hello world. Yes or no? Okay, if I remove the negation part, then
It will not.
Infinite loop, sir.
Infinite loop. Very good, very good. That's what the concept. Okay, it will come infinite loop. Why infinite loop here? Printf is returning non-zero value, but negation will become 0. Okay, so because of negation we put, it has become 0. As a result of that, it will come out of the while loop. By that time it already executed printf, for your kind information. చూడండి printf execute అయిన తర్వాతనే కదా 21 వచ్చేది రిటర్న్ వాల్యూ నాన్-జీరో వాల్యూ. ఆ నాన్-జీరో వాల్యూను మనం ఏం చేసాము, 0 చేసేసాము. సో వైల్ ఈజ్ రిసీవ్డ్ 0 వాల్యూ విచ్ మీన్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫాల్స్. కానీ బై ద టైమ్ ఇట్ విల్ కమ్ ఫాల్స్. యాజ్ ఎ రిజల్ట్ ద వైల్ లూప్ విల్ కమ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్స్ బాడీ. But already printf has printed the hello world message, so we will answer. But in case suppose if I remove that negation, then every time it is what, sir? Non-zero value. Every time non-zero means what, sir? Amma chudandi, while I will remove the negation symbol, while printf hello world, right? No, I mean don't consider the negation. Now printf hello world, tell me what is the answer, what the printf is going to return.
11, sir.
Assume that 11. Okay, fine. Now while 11 condition is true, am I right? Because 11 is a non-zero value, non-zero is treated as true, I told you. So as a result it will execute the body and nothing of course there in the body. But after execution of the body, where the control will go again? Is your control is coming out of your loop, or it will go to the again condition?
Condition.
It will again go to the condition. And when it is going to the condition, again printf statement is there. So once again the printf will be executed. Am I right? So what is happening here? It is going in infinite loop. And to stop that infiniteness, I used what, sir? Negation. Once if I use the negation, it will become false. So while when it is receiving false, the body will not be executed, rather it will come out of the body. As a result, the printf hello world will be printed only once. That's the only difference that we are trying to explain. In if, no need to use negation, whereas in while or any other loop, we have to use a negation symbol. Otherwise, it will come infinite loop. Good. Now the next question is, can you write the program without main function? Anyone? We all know that your execution of any C program, whether you write the small program or a lengthy program or any other one, for every C program, the execution always starts from main. Yes, Amma? Yes or no?
Yes,
Now tell me, can you write a program without main function?
No, sir.
No, sir.
I'll show you. It is possible through predefined macro. I mean, not predefined, defined macro. So here I wrote a macro called define, hash define, and the name is what, sir? What is the name of the macro? Start. And what is the expansion of that start macro? Main. Right? This is what the preprocessor directive called hash define. Now after that, what I'm doing is void start, okay, and function call operator begin in the body printf hello close. Only 4 lines of code. Now tell me, when you compile this and check the phases of compiler, among the phases of compiler, when I am handovering this code to the compiler, first of all, pre-compilation will take place where the macros, if any, are present in your program, that macros will be replaced. I repeat, Amma. Before an object code is going to be generated, what are the defined macro we have? That define not only defined macros, even any pre-processing directives, whatever that we have related to that pre-processing directives, the code will be added as a part of your actual code. So here the start symbol, void start, is replaced by what? Anyone? Start is a macro whose expansion is main.
Start with
This I explained. Yeah, start is going to be replaced with main. That's all. Now the code will become like this. Hash include std.h void main function call operator begin print hello close. Yes or no? Main వచ్చేసిందా లేదా? Yes, Amma. Main వచ్చిందా లేదా?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So without main, we are able to execute. That's the answer.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, here I will stop. Just we have gone through a few things, like as what are the features. So I try to explain the features through examples. All features are very interesting and important. That's why C has become very famous. And of course, we even discuss about what are a couple of questions related to Code Vita. And we are even briefly explained about the various programs. Okay. And these programs which I included in my PPT are all asked in previous interviews. All these interview questions, they are all. Without main, can we write a program? Okay. Can we print a variable name? Okay. Similarly, without main, can you write the function? Can you write the print message hello world without using semicolon? So these are all the previous questions which are asked in the interviews that I have added as a part of brief tour to C programs. Right, all of you? So tomorrow, that means on Friday, initially we'll start our discussion with how to install the Code Blocks IDE along with the GCC compiler and how to execute the code by using it. All that I will explain, and then we'll start our journey to the C language. Okay, Amma? Yes, Amma?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll today's session here only. It's an introductory part it is. And one more problem generally I face here, likewise for online classes, is my class generally I prefer it should be of interactive. So many students are there, those who joined in today's class, those who enrolled, they will be present in every class. My expectation from you is when I'm asking a question, please unmute and immediately answer. And that means you try to involve in the class. So my class is always interactive. So I'm expecting the same from your side. That's the only thing I want to say. Okay. And from your side, any changes you want, or any problems you're facing, or any doubts if you have, you can clear. Yes, Amma.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, right. Thank you, Amma. Who is the coordinator who is present?
Yes, sir. This is Chandrika.
Yeah, Chandrika madam. I'm binding up my session
Yes,
today.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
I
Amma.
request
Thank
all
you.
the students to stay and not
Yeah,
to leave
Chandrika.
because we need to take the attendance.
Yeah, Chandrika madam, small request here.
Yes, sir.
In the next class, I have to start my demo session somehow. Today, just theoretically, what are the things are there that I explained it. But
Okay,
it is better we should have interactive section along with code execution part also. So what we'll do tomorrow, we together will sit in a trial session.
Yes. Sure, sir.
I'll bring my laptop, madam. We together will sit and we'll see the setup.
Okay, sir.
Okay, madam?
Sure, sir. Yes.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Girls, any doubts? No doubts? All of you? No, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Any doubts? Sure?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Amma, last but not least, all of you. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello, Amma, all of you. We try to involve, Amma. If you deviate, then it will be trouble for you as well as for me also, because I cannot understand who is present in the class and who is properly understanding, who is not understanding. All this is possible only through interaction. If you are present in the class, I would have explained it in a different level. You know, my one of the C session, CSC people, they know about me because I have taken the same C language for them. I don't know exactly to which section I have taken.
CSC,
But you know, B, I think. Yeah. it is B.
section.
Yeah, for both B and C also, of course. At the end, for few classes, I have taken for C also. So I prefer always the interactive one. If interaction is there, then we feel happy. Otherwise, only one way, if I go on explain that, then is not that attractive. నేను డల్ అయిపోతుంటాను ఒక లెవెల్ తర్వాత మీరు కూడా చాలా మంది డల్ అవుతుంటారు చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు మళ్ళా ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ లాంటివి ఉండాలి కనుక ఇవన్నీ మనం నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం ఓకేనమ్మా ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ థ్యాంక్ యూ అమ్మా చంద్రికా మేడం విల్ టేక్ ఓవర్
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
థ్యాంక్ యూ అమ్మా
Hello, girls. Was the session interactive? Was the session useful for you, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did all your coordinators send you a Google Meet link?
Yes, ma'am.
All the departments have got the link?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool, girls. Just wait for 2 minutes. There's Vinay Babu sir who wants to talk to you. So he will come and he'll speak to you. Then you can join the next meeting, girls. Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, 1 minute, girls. Just 1 minute. Give me 1 minute time. We are so sorry for the inconvenience, sir. It's taking time. I don't know why. Just 2 minutes, girls. Immediately after sir speaks, you just go back to the link that your coordinators have sent. Here, just 2 minutes, girls.
Hello?
Good evening, sir. Vinay Babu, sir.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Sir, so sorry, sir. We couldn't accept it because there were so many students who were like enthusiastic and they have
Fine,
joined.
fine. That means the program is
So
going
sorry.
on well successfully. It's very good
Yes,
sign.
sir.
So let it go
Yes, sir.
very,
With all
very
your blessings.
successfully. And on my
Yes, sir.
behalf, you wish. I mean, now am I audible or connected or still any
Yes,
problem?
sir. You are connected. You are audible very clearly, sir. Everybody is there. There are
Fine, fine.
90 or 90 students, sir. Yes,
Then
sir.
all the students are there. I can now, all students can hear me, no?
Yes, sir. Yes. Well, please wish, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, good
Good
evening.
evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening,
Good
good
evening,
evening.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine, fine. Fine. It's a, I mean, really, the college is progressing very well with the joining and getting successfully from the college with a, but still very, very few students are getting very high packages and still we expect more to be of that higher package, I mean, placements and all. So what we can do is we can provide, that is the administration can provide all the facilities. It is the students who have to explore all the possibilities that are being given by the faculty and administration. Really, it's good that Kishore and Anisha Madam and other staff members like Shastri, Amla and all are, came forward and organizing this particular I mean, classes, because up to, I mean, that is, even if any race is there, getting it in within 10 seconds, it's a, I mean, it may be possible, but from 10 seconds to getting 9.8 also very difficult job. So similarly, we are taking the students, that is, entire students are being taken to the distinction level and the placement of 6 to 7 lakhs level or some 1 or to 10 lakhs level, but still uh, even the management and the staff and even the students are also not happy and not satisfied with this particular thing. So we requested the faculty to put some more, uh, let us say, hard work so that all the students can enter into the double figure salaries per annum, that is about 10 lakhs. That is our main aim. 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. When different college students are getting this type of offers, we always feel that why not our students? So whatever the requirements are there, we are fulfilling. Even we have consulted the Bank of America.
They ask the first question whether your college is autonomous and what is your college NARF ranking, all that. So all that we are taking care. That is faculty and administration is taking care about that. We are very sure this time we will be getting a good NARF ranking also. All the facilities and all the performance that has been put by you, the students, is encouragingly good. And so what we want to, we requested the faculty to put some more hard work so that we can move a little forward. So that is the basic reason. I mean now it is not a regular class. Classes approach will be different, and maybe instead of directly solving the code, and that code and languages will be maybe as per the student choices. But how exactly you are approaching towards the problem? What are the algorithms that you will be developing? All that plays a key role. So that algorithmic approach should be there. I think the faculty, Shastri and other teachers who are Anisha, Kishore and all, whoever teaches this particular subject will take care about that particular approach. Now it is, we are throwing the challenges to the students in such a way that, you should see to it that the teachers should work hard day and night so that your question, to answer your questions, they should also work hard in that particular, and at the same time, vice versa, to answer the staff questions, also students have to work very hard. Anyhow, you are all the third year students. Now it's only maybe hardly 1 year or 1.5 years maybe left. So this, if this particular 1 year you work hard, your entire life will be very successful. So whatever the efforts that we are putting, whatever may be the efforts and time, treasure is spent by the management and administration, that we are taking care. It is only the students' part. So please work hard, work hard, work hard. And if at all you are not understanding anything, any concept, you can approach the teachers. So now not only just during the college time, even after the college time also teachers are ready to do it. Just think they are not paid any extra amount for that. And they will not be given maybe encouragement from the faculty, from the students only, and appreciation by the students only. That is the only thing that we expect. And all the teachers are will feel very proud if all the students are taking up very higher package salaries and a good academic and good employment approaches that you get. So for that satisfactorily, all the faculty are working very hard. So generally for a teacher, we'll be always happy if our students and our wards go up and up, so that we will always feel that, so and so, even maybe Satyam Nadel, our teacher, may also feel that so and so is my teacher, my student. So like that, we want to also tell about you people. So please work hard. So it is now the challenge left to the students. So please work hard, work hard, work hard, and see to it that the staff also works very well, and answer all the questions. It should be a challenge for both should be win-win situation. Both should learn, and at the same time, even from your approaches, even we will also learning so many new techniques and new approaches. And always let us all work hard and see to it that these soft skill, these training programs, skill-oriented training programs, that whatever we are putting, so that I wish all that will be a great success. Really, a good initiative has been taken by the principal and the Anisha Madam and Kishore Reddy, all the Shastri and Ramanamurthy, and all involving this. So really, I wish a grand success for the faculty, to the department, and to finally the students. We expect a high rise in the packages. We expect at least 2 should be above 15, and at least 10 should be between 10 and 15. So that is the expectation I am getting. I'm hiring from you people. So please work hard. Thank you and all the best. And thank you for patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable wordings and the blessings that you are given to the students. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, girls, now that your coordinators have given you the link, you can join in the link immediately. Okay, girls? Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, immediately please join in the link that they have given already. Yes, Soumya ma'am wants to speak.
Yeah.
Ma'am, please speak.
Yeah, CSC students, I have forwarded you the link to all your CRs. I think they might have you send that link. Please join immediately, ma. Girls, is it okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, none. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
IT, others are also joining, right? Please join faster.